So our first presentation is a proclamation for Women's History Month. And I'm pleased to present this proclamation. Do you mind expanding that proclamation, City Clerk?
I'm not sure we can on the screen, actually.
That's all right. I'll try my best.
Sorry.
So whereas in 1910, Washington became the fifth state to enact women's suffrage, and this success helped inspire the passing of the 19th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution in 1920, when women won the right to vote nationally. And whereas since 1914, March 8th has been recognized as International Women's Day, and since 1987, March has been designated Women's History Month. And whereas the National Women's History Alliance has designated the 2022 National Women's History Month theme to be providing healing, promoting hope, as both a tribute to the ceaseless work of caregivers and frontline workers during the pandemic, and also in recognition of the thousands of ways that women of all cultures have provided both healing and hope throughout history. And whereas the healthcare industry is one of the largest employers in Burien, and the majority of healthcare workers in Burien are women. And whereas during the COVID-19 pandemic, women in Burien led recovery and relief efforts by providing frontline care for individuals impacted by the disease, creating mutual aid programs to distribute food and essential health supplies, and working with public health officials to improve access to vaccination. And whereas women constitute the majority of Burien's population and a significant portion of the labor force, making countless contributions to our community across every facet of life. And whereas women of every race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, ability, national origin, immigration status, and socioeconomic background continue to make historic contributions to the growth and strength of our community. And now, therefore, the City Council of the City of Burien, Washington, does hereby ask all Burien community members to join together to proclaim March 2022 as Women's History Month. Thank you. And I'm pleased to present this proclamation to one of our residents and a colleague of mine, Madeline Murray from Seattle University. Thank you for joining us, Maddie.
Thank you, Mayor Aragon, and thank you, City Council, for having me. And of course, I would humbly like to accept this proclamation on behalf of all the women who have gone before us, whose strong shoulders we now stand on to be able to do the work that has been done over the past couple of years, which indeed has helped us to promote health and to begin the healing from this pandemic. So I consider it a privilege to be able to be here before you and recognize all of those frontline workers who have really given heart and soul and endless hours to do what they have done, not only for our city, but for those, of course, across our state and across the world. So thank you for the recognition for women in history, and especially for focusing on those that have really felt the impact of this pandemic in healthcare sector. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maddie.